CQ calling CQ the Old Friends Net. CQ the Old Friends Net. This is WA4LLR. Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina calling CQ the Old Friends Net. This net meets on this frequency 3 times weekly, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 8 a.m., Sunday evenings at 5 p.m. It's conducted in the amplitude modulation mode, carried out in the roundtable format. It's a great place to get information, look for parts or pieces, maybe trade or sell a rig, mainly in the vintage type, but any station that can generate an AM signal is welcome to participate. So, stations that would like to be a part of today's net, give me a call and come now.
N4LQ.
KZ4 Bravo.
WB4ARK.
WB4NKL.
Roar.
W4MEC.
All right, I have the following stations: N4LQ, KZ4B, WB4ARK, WB4NKL, KN4R, and W4MEC on the ART13. So, do we have any others? Come now.
K3OS.
Give me that one more time.
Roger. K3OS, Gary.
All right, Gary, got you. K3OS. Any others? Okay, one more time down the list. LQ, 4B, ARK, NKL, 4R, MEC, OS, and one more standby. Any other station? Okay, well, good morning to everybody. A little bit of QRN. Looks like we've got a pretty good storm system out about Crossville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, and that area heading this way. But hopefully we'll be able to get the net done before the storm comes in. About 65 degrees, a morning fog, and some rain showers yesterday. Running the night kit T150, R100A receiver in the SB220. So that's the situation here. Steve, down to Shelby, N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. Oh, the T150 sounds beautiful, Dave. I'm on the 32V3 and the 75A4 this morning, and the horizontal loop as usual. Spent all day yesterday experimenting with a new antenna. It's called a traveling wave antenna. I got it put up, and the software predicted a -5 dBi gain, and I thought, well, it's not too bad, but a dipole is +5 dBi, so I lost 10 dBs, and reports and tests show exactly that. It's not a failure. It actually turned out exactly like the software predicted. So it's a crummy antenna, but it took a lot of effort to get it up, and I'm proud of it. And now I'm going to take it down and roll it up and stick it in the closet or something. 71 degrees. We were expecting almost half an inch of rain this afternoon, and now as usual, they've dropped it down to 0.19, and by the time it gets here, it'll probably be 3 inches. So you just can't. The predictions have just been really fickle lately. High of 87 today. So over to you, John. KZ4B, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ and the group KZ4B, fine business, Steve. I'm on the usual T150, driving the Ameritron AL82, feeding the 80-meter resonant dipole up about 75 feet at the apex on my crank-up tower that hasn't been cranked down in quite some time. the weather missed us yesterday, as it usually does. Lots of static, but no rain. And I'm going to try to move the amp supply LK500ZB upstairs, which means I need to roll it around the outside of the house, because it's not something you want to bounce up the steps with. And try to get that in the upstairs operating position. I'm in the downstairs operating position, but there's no room down here at present. And that will allow me to move the Ameritron AL82 that I picked up at Xenia to where the amp supply linear was sitting, and gets out in the house, because my wife has ordered me to take her Bernina sewing machine to Hickory to the repair shop to get it worked on. And that's also where my brother lives. So and there's a gun and knife show this weekend, so if he's amenable, I will try to take her sewing machine to Hickory, go to the gun show, and visit my brother. So that's what's happening here. So over to Buddy, WB4, and the conditions sound pretty darn good today. WB4ARK and the group KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Okay, John. Well, your signal is nice and quiet this morning. Well, background noise-wise. A very good signal into Lake Wylie, as everybody else's is. I noticed WWV 10 megahertz was the only WWV station I was receiving this morning, just before the net. And also I noticed that Hawaii was coming in quite strong, so I knew we probably had good propagation for long distance here. And sure enough, it is. I can hear Charlie's dynamotor running just fine, and things are really quite nice this morning. Very, very quiet band conditions. So, yeah, got the car fixed. It turned out to be the ignition module, and I had one, and so I put it on, and that took care of the problem. It made well, to replace the ignition module, all of the coil packs plug into the ignition module. So there's 3 coil packs. Each one distributes 2 high voltages to 2 cylinders. So there's 6 cylinders, so there's 3 of them. So you take the 2 bolts out of the coil pack, and then you separate those from the ignition module, and the ignition module comes right off the top of the manifold at the back next to the firewall. Got 3 plugs that plug it up to the system, and so it takes about 30 minutes to do it. It's a pretty easy job. Got that done. It ran fine, so no more missing. So that's where we stand on the car. Yeah, I guess that's about it for right now. So we'll send it on over to WB4NKL, WB4ARK.
Yeah, WB4ARK, it's WB4NKL. Well, glad you got the car going, buddy. Not too much trouble, didn't sound like. Got 68 degrees here and light rain with heavy rain on the way, sounds like. But I think after today, it's looking like summertime, hot weather coming and dry for a while. Running the BC 610 again, and like I say, everybody's coming in great here. Got some QRN. I can hear some static crashes. That storm, I think, is down middle Tennessee, so I guess it's heading this way. The T150s both sound good. Got two of them in here this morning, I think, so they're doing a good job. Send it on to Brian. Go ahead, Brian. KN4R, WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff, very good. WB4NKL. And the Thursday old friends, good morning to all. This is Brian, KN4R, still on the Globe Champ and listening on R390A this morning. Everybody's coming in just great. Let's see what's new here. I have a new weather station I just put up a couple days ago. It's linked to the internet, of course, but I don't have my phone upstairs, and the console for the thing is downstairs as well, because I ran up here to get on the air, and so I can't tell you exactly what's going on, but it's a beautiful day right now, breezy, and let's see, we have 5 or 6 kids coming over for lunch after vacation Bible school, which my daughter is very involved with this year, and so they're coming over after that, so that'll be fun. And I've been working on a golf cart, and I'm listening to the charging module, unfortunately, this morning a little bit, so that's the downside of having something like that. So, anyway, Charlie, let's hear that wonderful dynamotor. W4MEC in the group, KN4R.
KN4R in the group, W4MEC. Looks like I drifted down a little bit, about 150, so, oh well, a little bit of that. I don't feel like touching the dial. Don't touch that dial, yeah, okay. Everybody's coming in good this morning. I got a weird noise at 3716. I got a buzz, not sure what it is. It's not at 3717. But it's at 3716, so anyway, everybody's overriding the buzz. Let's see, 58 degrees here, amazingly, and white fluffy clouds outside, no rain here, mostly blue sky, but we'll see what the weather does as the day goes along. My wife was telling me that the storm has taken out all the construction work on I-40 at the Tennessee line again. I can't remember if she said it's still closed, if they closed it up or what, but not good. Talking about those car failures, I don't know if you all remember that Volvo, when they first started coming out with computers in cars running everything, like ignition, engine control modules, Volvo came up with a way that if it failed, you could unplug the module and then just plug the two plugs together, and you could start the car and drive it to where you needed to go to get it fixed. So electronic failure did not leave you in the middle of the desert. So I always thought that was nice of them. I'm sure they don't do that anymore. So everything's gotten too complicated. And Steve, you said that antenna was a flop, but what was the pluses to it? I know you said it was traveling wave. It was very long. So it must have been something that has a plus to it, that the 5 dB loss would have been acceptable. So I was curious about that. So let's take her down to Gary, K3OS, W4MEC.
All right, Charlie, W4MEC, K3OS. Morning, everybody. I'm the usual 1 kilohertz off because that's where this crystal is, so if you have to tune up just a hair, there you go, there, that'll be where I am. So far, a beautiful day here. We had some threatening stuff yesterday, but nothing overnight, nothing really major that occurred. So today I'm packing, and XYL and I are heading for California tomorrow for 2 weeks. Got a wedding to go to. My nephew is getting married to a lovely lady, and we're going to spend some little vacation time out there. So you will not hear me, and I will obviously not make the luncheon the first week in July, I guess.
but we should return. And so it's going to be kind of a busy day. We take off tomorrow morning here. Running the ICO 720, 730 and Gonset G66 receiver, which I think I've finally gotten working right. I still have a little spark noise. I can't tell whether it's a little deer fence that my wonderful neighbor has put up, or it's some other stuff. I'll have to look at it. But fortunately, on the automatic noise limiter on the Gonset seems to wipe it out. It occurs kind of just periodically here. So, anyway, life is reasonably good. WA4LLR, K3LS.
All right, let's see. K3OS, WA4LLR. Well, my crystal didn't want to oscillate on that time. So I had to go back to the VFO. Anyway, let me stand by quickly. Do we have any other stations that would like to join? Come now. Okay, I heard Greg, KF4DRN. Is there any others? Greg, go ahead and turn it back to me. KF4DRN, WA4LLR.
Watts right now with this Yaesu STA40. I don't have the amp turned on this one, and the antenna is more resonant here on this frequency than it is on 3885, and I've got the antenna direct, and so don't show any standing waves, so that's a good thing. What you see these little bit on 3885 with the tuner, you know, to hear everything lower, you know, it's the yard. Anyway, I'll pass it on back to you, Dave. Everybody, WF4LLR, KF4DRN.
Okay, Greg. Well, the 25 watts are making the trip, so I can't complain. One more standby. Any other stations for the old friends? Come now. All right, I guess we have everybody. Well, let's see here. Steve, the traveling wave antenna. You got a good signal up here for sure, maybe not quite as strong as usual, but I'm like Charlie. There must have been some kind of plus that you were after. I wonder if the receive was better on the traveling wave than the dipole. Just curious about that. John, I hope you can get the wife's sewing machine repaired and make it to the gun and knife show. That sounds good. Buddy, glad you got your car repaired, and that's wonderful that you had the module to put in it yourself. Cliff, the 610 sounds wonderful. Buddy, good deal on the new not Buddy, but Brian, good deal on the new weather station. Yeah, you got a big signal today. Good deal on the kids coming over for lunch. The daughter working in Vacation Bible School. That's what we're doing this week, every night. Let's see, Charlie, I was hearing that buzz on 3716 as well. And yeah, I think both lanes of I-40 are closed over there around the state line or just past the state line because of a mudslide. I think they thought they might have it open back up sometime late today. That's what I heard. And Gary, I hope you have a safe trip out to the left coast. And the ICO sounds wonderful. And Buddy, I was going to mention, I got the ART13 supply going again. You know, remember I mentioned that I'd lost the high voltage. You recommend testing the toggle switch, which I did. It was fine. I tested the internal fuse for high voltage, and it was fine. I couldn't find a thing wrong. I reseated the relays. I put it back together, and lo and behold, it was working. So I have no idea. I have no idea what the deal was, but it's working fine. So I'm thankful about that. let's see. Space weather today. Sunspot count's 120. Solar flux index is 137, and the K index is 2. Good band conditions. A few items from this day in history. On this day in 1953, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were put to death for espionage. On this day in 1963, Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman to travel in space, returned to Earth on Vostok 6. On this day in 1944, the U.S. Fifth Fleet engaged the Japanese Combined Fleet in the Battle of the Philippine Sea, which ended in a U.S. victory. On this day in 1910, the first Father's Day was celebrated in Spokane, Washington. And of interest to us all, on this day in 1934, the Federal Communications Commission was organized. So, back to you, Steve. Tell us why you tried a traveling wave antenna. N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. And, well, the reason I tried it is the same reason a guy climbs a mountain, I guess, because it's there. But it, a traveling wave concept has to do with how the signal propagates on the antenna, and a dipole relies on standing waves on the antenna, because the RF goes out to the ends and bounces back and produces a big standing wave. And the traveling wave goes out to the end and gets absorbed partially, and then doesn't come back. So you get a different radiation pattern. The main advantage, and the only advantage, is that it has a low SWR across the entire HF spectrum, sort of like a dummy load, of course. And it partially is a dummy load. A rhombic antenna, if terminated, is unidirectional, one direction, and that's if it's terminated by a resistor on the end. And it is a form of a traveling wave antenna, and the signal that's reflected toward the backside of the antenna is absorbed by the resistor. So it's very broadbanded also. So it's used commercially. B&W sold an antenna, they still do. I think they call it a broadband doublet or something, but it's got it's 90 feet long, and it has 3 wires and a resistor in the center at the top, and a balun at the bottom, 12-to-1 to match the resistor. And I bought one back in 1995, and I wasn't happy with it, and I thought I'll try my own. So mine's a little bit differently built. It's more like if you ever heard of a T2FD antenna, tilted terminated polar dipole. And so it works according to plan. It's my SWR here on 80 is almost flat across the band. 160 is flat. It goes up a little bit as you go up in frequency due to some inconsistencies in the thing, but anyway, it's just it's not worth losing that much signal. I'm losing 10 dBs on 80 and 20 dBs on 160, and it's 150 feet long, by the way. And let's see here, buddy, I'm glad you got that ignition module swapped out, and that's interesting how that fixed it. And I just looked it up here to see how much they cost, and not bad at all. And let's see, John, I hope you get your amplifier moved without hurting your back and so forth. And Brian's sounding really good. Charlie's whine, I'm using the 75A4, and I was able to notch out the dyno whine, yeah, with the rejection tuning on the 75A4. Boy, that works. That thing is slick. Oh, and then some more good news. I got the transmission fluid changed for the first time in my Titan pickup truck, and the gas mileage went up 3 miles per gallon. I've confirmed that over a full tank, and I'm just amazed. I got it changed right before the trip to Spartanburg last time, and we had a truckload of folks, 4 of us, down there for the luncheon, and I got 25 miles per gallon. And that was a milestone. That truck had never done 25. 21 was about it. And around town, it's hanging in there at about 18 to 19, which is considerably better too. So I don't know what transmission fluid does that would cause that, but it certainly made a difference in the truck. It's got a little over 50,000 miles on it, and the manual called for a change. So with that, I will turn it over to John. KZ4B, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ and the group KZ4B here. Very good, Steve. If you are on your traveling wave antenna, you just set a record here. There's considerable QS Baker this morning, but conditions on average are quite good. But you were actually 20 over 9 on an extremely Scotch S-meter on this Palstar PR30. And that's a record. 15 was the record from you previously. So go figure. Propagation, I guess, outweighs other factors. Shifting gears, Charlie was talking about a Volvo. That's an interesting concept. The only Volvo I've ever personally owned was a 75 station wagon, and I learned to hate it. The heater core started leaking, and the dealer, this is back, way back, when a dollar was worth 50 cents, and the dealer wanted $500, which is like $5,000 today, to replace the heater core because you had to tear the whole dash out. So I ended up taking a whole week off from work because it took the whole week to change out the heater core. And of course, that's $500 right there. So I didn't save a thing, and it was a miserable job because you had to stand on your head to work under the dash. But that wasn't the worst of it. The car would quit in the middle of nowhere, and you would try to crank it, and it would crank right up. And as soon as you let go of the key, the engine would quit. And I initially thought it was fuel injected, and I initially thought that maybe it was a fuel injection problem. And then I got to thinking, when you let go of the key, it quits. Well, that said that the ballast resistor, which is only in there when you start, it's in there when you're running, but not when you crank it. It's bypassed when you crank it. So it turned out to be an intermittent ballast resistor, but that sucker drove me crazy. And it was scary, because like I say, you'd be in the middle of nowhere and the sucker would quit. And then all of a sudden, if you let it cool off, it would start again. So my experience with a Volvo was nightmarish, to say the least. That's the only Volvo I ever owned, and probably never own another one. That's for sure. By the way, Brian, you're coming in pretty good this morning. Heavy QS Baker, but conditions on average are quite good, and the band is super quiet. I love it. my noise level here is a mere S9, which for me is fantastic. So, over to you, buddy, and you're booming in as usual. Good audio. WB4ARK in the group, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Okay, John. Well, that's interesting about the Volvo. Must have had standard points. Yeah, I worked with our Fords. My father was a Ford man, and I grew up on working on Fords and learned all my mechanical skills with Fords. So until I got to be about 20 years old and bought my first Chevrolet, 1960. Yeah, great car. Wish I'd never sold it. Anyhow, I never had a ballast resistor go bad in our Fords. Had some coil issue. One, I think, went bad. I think it was because the lead wasn't plugged in properly. It arced and messed up the terminal. But that's about all the problems we had. I went through my mother's car. My father put a bunch of miles on the car each year. And so she got the second hand-me-down car. And it was a 62 Ford. And I messed around with that. I was interested in improving the gas mileage and did a bunch of stuff on the distributor and changed the springs in it and did a good bit of work on the carburetor, changed jets, and I was able to get pretty good mileage, but it didn't have much pickup after that, so it was a little bit sluggish, but not too bad. But it did improve the fuel mileage. If I didn't mention it, it's 71 here, blue sky, sun's nice and bright. So weather hasn't gotten this far yet. I guess we're good until maybe early afternoon, something like that, possibly. If it makes it at all, they said we weren't going to have anything yesterday. The local weather station, Channel 9, and one of them, most reliable one. And then we got a report that we were going to have some severe weather, and it was headed this way, but it never did make it, so that was the way things turn out. I guess that's about it. There is a little bit of QSB today, not too bad. And Dave, I'm glad you got the power supply back running. I built that thing to be pretty much bulletproof, but things can happen sometimes. I wonder if there was a bad contact on one of the plug-in relays. Maybe it wasn't plugged in all the way. Anyhow, I'm glad you got it working. And the T150s sound good, and the BC610 sounds good, Cliff. So we'll say 73, and look forward to this Sunday, I guess. So over to WB4NKL, WB4ARK.
WB4ARK, WB4NKL. Well, good copy all the way around. So, the band's in pretty good shape, except for the QRN I'm getting, but it's not bad enough to take anybody out. We had another heavy shower just come through, but it's slacked off again here right now. Steve, that's pretty amazing, that much difference in mileage changing transmission fluid. I'd be curious to what's going on with that. If it got thick or thin, or that's kind of strange. Glad you're getting that kind of knowledge. That's good for that size of the truck. Not too much else here. I guess I'll go ahead and get out. And I don't know. Like I say, it's a heavy rain heading in, so I guess I'll have to put off the walk till maybe later today. I hear the rain picking up on the tin roof again here, so no walking this morning. 73's enjoyed it. Thanks for calling it, Dave. Go ahead, Brian. W4KR, WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff, WB4NKL in the group, KN4R. Well, Cliff, since you've missed your walk this morning and it's starting to rain, you might as well just hang in here with us. But you're sounding good from up there. And, yeah, we're supposed to get the weather down here around 2 o'clock, I think. So, let's see. I got a bunch of different notes. And, buddy, by the way, if you're still listening, my father was a Rambler man. I don't know what that means, but there you go. And, Steve, interesting on the 75A4 rejection tuning, taking out dynamotor noise. They could have marketed that early on, and let's see. John, be careful with all that heavy lifting. And I had not had coffee this morning. I ran up here to get on the net and didn't even start the coffee, but my dear wife got up and made coffee. And so once John started transmitting, I knew I was good for 10 or 15 minutes. So I got down there and got some coffee. So I'm pretty happy here at the moment. And Charlie, Gary, where in California are you going? And you're going to be out there for a couple of weeks. I wonder what all you have planned to do after the wedding. And Dave and Charlie, the Buzz on 3716 is probably the one on my golf cart. We bought a used golf cart recently, and it's got some old lead acid batteries, and the charger really makes a racket, unfortunately. But we're getting in the process we're having to take out a loan, but we're getting ready to switch to lithium. So it'll just be it'll be similar but different with that charger, probably, or it could be worse. And good morning to Greg and the 25 watts there. So anyway, I'll hang in until the end. Take it away, Charlie. W4MEC in the group, KN4R.
Okay, Brian. I'm down 400 cycles, 360. All right, KN4R and the group, W4MEC. Real good. I don't know. Let me look at my scope here. I can see it. If I get far, if I stand up, it's a little less dynamotory. So I'll stand up here. John and the Volvo. I was not happy with my first Chevy Suburban because the heater core went out in it, and you have to drain the air conditioning refrigerant, remove the air conditioning evaporator coil. Basically, like you said, John, stand on your head and take the dash apart. And I can't remember when it went bad. It was several years after we bought the car. We keep cars forever here. Now, my Ford, on the other hand, they actually have an access door. You take off, I think, one screw, swing the door open, there's the heater core right there. Undo the hoses on the other side, pull the thing out, put a new one in, take you 30 minutes to change the heater core. So I reconnoitered that thing, and I figured out where that heater core was in the Suburban, and I took a box cutter, and I cut a square in that plastic where the heater core was. And I did the same thing, and when I put it back together, I just used a couple of screws there, made tabs up, and put that piece of plastic back in place, and screwed it back down. And so the next time it ever goes, well, not on that car, but if it ever went out again, I could just change it like a Ford, you know. So anyway, I'll get that car going again one of these days. my thought on the transmission fluid was your old stuff was slipping real bad, and the new stuff has got more viscosity. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if you got a tachometer. It would have been interesting to see if your RPMs changed downward with the new fluid, which would indicate better transmission of the, in the torque converter, getting that stuff to transmit the engine power into the transmission. That would be my guess. So kind of had a scare with my SX100 when I took it from the operating position and put it on the bench again. I turned it on and I didn't have any filaments. And I just totally forgot about this, but I'm sitting here going, I've had a piece of equipment that I'd worked on and overhauled. It was a Lafayette HA410 10-meter transceiver. Had it working perfect. And I turned it on, I had no filaments, and the filament winding of the power transformer went bad. So that's what was in my mind, is this thing gave up the ghost. Well, when I moved it from the operating position to the bench, I just unplugged the octal plug in the back for the mute line, and that they also have a built-in jumper in that thing that's sealed over for the filament connection, because if you pull it, you can run the SX100 on batteries. So I said, oh heck, so I got the plugged it back in, I got my filaments back. So I was worried there for a moment. So yeah, let's see, what else we got here? I think that was on my notes. I don't know what the buzz is. Maybe it's your charger there, Brian. I don't know how changing batteries would, unless the charger changes with them. I can't remember if you said that. But if you're using the same charger, that wouldn't cure anything. But that's exactly what it sounds like, is a battery charger. And I went around checking the fluorescent lights and wall and lamp dimmers, and nothing on here is on. So whatever it is, I hope it goes away. So let me see. I got a copy, but it's pretty weak on Greg. Let me see if he can copy me. KF4BRN W4MEC.
Don't forget Gary.
All right, let me see what I got.
Check in with you guys this morning. Everybody have a good day. I think I might give them a light. Got some things I need to do. So I'll say 7-3 all around, and whoever can take it next, go ahead. 7-3 KF4DR.
Go ahead and pick it up, Gary.
I was hearing him, and then all of a sudden he just dropped just a little bit down in my noise level. Okay. Yeah, no problem. And just a couple quick comments here, and I got to get out of here and get my day started. I've got a couple of current Volvos, which we like a lot. Can't say about the other old ones. I never owned an old one, but mine are about 5 years old now, and we really like them. But lots of things have happened over the years in terms of cars. Brian, to answer your question, I don't know. We're just going to do a little bit of sightseeing. We're going to be out in the Los Angeles, Pasadena, basically Pasadena area. My younger sister lives out there, and we haven't seen her since she moved. We haven't seen her in her new place out there, so we're going to have a look and just kind of enjoy some family. The whole family's going to be there, obviously, and it'll be kind of fun to see them. So a little R&R when we get out there. Understand the weather is nice and not quite as humid as here in wonderful North Carolina. So bid everybody 73s on this round. I got to run out, and we shall look forward to seeing you when we get back. WA4LLR K3OS.
Okay, fine business, Gary. Hope you guys have a great trip up that way. And a lot of things to be seen in the Golden State. Spent 2 years out there. My wife and I did back in the early 70s. I can't imagine the change by now. Let's see here. 7-3 to Gary, 7-3 to Greg, 7-3 to Buddy, and 7-3 to Cliff. So we have Steve and John and Brian and Charlie left. So we'll do a 73 round. Steve, that's interesting about the mileage increase with the transmission fluid change. And never owned a Volvo. So I had a friend that liked them quite well. I don't think he had too many problems with his. And Brian, swapping out the golf cart battery, as the old saying goes, yeah, you may need a cosigner on that one. And Charlie, glad that glad there was a simple fix on the filaments for the SX100. Well, don't have a lot here. Got a couple of doctor's appointments today. I've got a video teleconference with one group at noon, and then I've got the dermatologist in Asheville at 2. So I will be on the road here before too long, I guess. Anyway, let's do our 73 round. John, you'll give it over to Brian. So N4LQ, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, N4LQ. All right, well, the transmission fluid is amazing. The gas mileage on the Titan is amazing to begin with, because anything that big and heavy, a Nissan Titan is a big truck, big V8, and cruises along at 21 on the highway. I had an old one. I had the first model that came out back in 2004, I believe, and it did the same thing, a real high gas mileage. So I'm happy with that, and now I'm really happy. I'm going to switch over to the traveling wave antenna, and you will see what I'm talking about. I think you're going to see about a 2S unit, at least a 2S unit drop in my signal. Standby. Alright, this is the traveling wave antenna. Now, one thing I don't have to worry about is SWR. It stays real low, and now going back. Alright, here we are back on the loop antenna. So now you see the difference, and I'll be interested in your reports. So I guess it's 73s all the way around to you guys, and enjoyed the net immensely. And Gary, I guess you're going out there to, hope you're not going out there to riot, but stay out of downtown, I'd say that. Anyway, 73s, over to you, John. KZ4B, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ and the group KZ4B, fine business, Steve. Well, Steve, you dropped, I'd say, at least 10 dB on my receiver. So it is a dummy load, a load for dummies, the traveling wave antenna. The military used a lot of those, but, you know, it probably saved a lot of transmitters. And so, you know, do you want to be heard, or do you want to smoke the transmitter? I think a lot of the military radio operators, at least on the technical side, were not always that bright. Anyway, Gary, the last time I was in California was in the early 2000s, and I was in the Cupertino area in LA, and I thought I was in a foreign country. It was more foreign than being in Miami, which is pretty darn foreign. And there were tons of Indians and Pakistanis in addition to all the Hispanics. I had assumed they'd be all Hispanic, and I didn't have a problem there, but it blew my mind with all the Indians and Pakistanis. And in Cupertino, the only two honkies that I met were two ladies that worked at the Walmart store. and they were imports. They didn't live in Cupertino. They were from out of town. So the California of the old days is not the California of today, I don't think. And of course, you know, they're trying to burn it down 6 ways from Sunday. Good luck, be safe, and enjoy the trip, Gary. Well, 73s, thanks for calling the net, Dave. And hope everybody has a good week. Stay dry. So, over to Buddy. WB4ARK and the group KZ, 4 be clear but listening.
Yeah, I think Buddy signed and Cliff signed, so Brian, pick it up.
Okay, Dave, very good. WA4LLR in the group, KN4R, very good. Yeah, John, Cupertino, that's where Apple is based. I used to go out there a lot, but I didn't notice what you were seeing, but I do remember when Cupertino was all fruit trees, and of course by the time I got out there it was just a little fruity. But anyway, Steve, you dropped down about half. So I would say the traveling wave antenna, if we were marketing it, we'd just say for the ham with too much signal. And a lot of us have that problem. So let's see, Gary, have fun out there. I'm sure there's tons of things that you could see. I would probably stay out of Juarez if you went down towards San Diego. But if you do go down there, that big resort, I can't think of the name of it right now. That was the influence to, oh gosh, my brain's not working. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. But anyway, have fun out there. And I will say 73s as well. And I hope everybody has a good day and makes some progress on their project. So W4MEC in the group, KN4R, going for more coffee because I need it.
Yeah, sorry. KN4R in the group, W4MEC. Yeah, sorry, Gary. I don't know why I skipped over you. But sorry about that, Chief. Anyway, let's see. I've been to California once. Went over there, spit in the Pacific Ocean. My son, visiting my son and family out there. He was in Irvine at the time. And now he's in the town with the longest name in the whole state, Rancho Santa Margarita. And they put it on an envelope as RSM. You put RSM California in the zip code, it'll get there. And he took us out to the Pacific, and we went through this kind of a mountain rangy looking thing. And what I remember is looking up on the mountainside, and it had been cleared and was all grass and everything. And I saw all these people up there towards the top, and they were all sitting in, if you know what the lotus position is in yoga, and the only reason I know that is because I was told what it was. All these people in colorful clothes, sitting, and some with no shirt, and sitting up there in a lotus position. They're kind of rocking back and forth side to side. And I said, man, I don't know about the fruity part, but it's definitely, I'm in the land of nuts. So get me back to NC. So anyway, all right. That's it. On the antenna, Steve, well, you went from booming in here to barely readable. I mean, this drop was, had to be more than 10 dB. And like you said, that thing was about, you might have a flat SWR, kind of like a vertical with no counterpoise, you know. It looks good everywhere, but it doesn't radiate much. So unless it was oriented wrong, or if it's a traveling wave, maybe the signal flies off the end, and whatever the end is pointed out is getting all the signal. I don't know, but yeah, that's a taker downer right there. And I wouldn't put it in the closet. I might cut it up into 10-meter dipoles or something and sell it on the internet. Anyway, thanks for running that, Dave, and we'll look for everybody on Sunday. And 7-3 all. You'll have a good rest of the day. WA4LLR, W4MEC.
Okay, Charlie, fine business. 7-3 to you and everyone else. Steve, on your dipole were a solid 40 over. I mean, just beautiful, steady as a rock. And when you went to the traveling wave, you went down to between 10 and 15 dB over S9. So there was a substantial difference. Oh, yeah. I can understand the military using them from the standpoint of safety for transmitters, but man, if I wanted to get a signal through, I think I'd go with something else. I mean, you know, a dummy load's got a great SWR, but anyhow, everybody have a great rest of the week. 7-3, God bless, and Lord willing, we'll look for you on Sunday. This is WA4LLR, Dave in Burnsville, North Carolina, closing this session of the Old Friends Net. 7-3.